What's going on? I'm King Cole and welcome back to Hopium or Copium, where we go through each of the world's teams and break down their realistic chances at making it through to the next stage. Last week we went through Group A, so the only logical choice is for us to talk about Group B. Between both playing groups, popular opinion says this is the more competitive of the two, and I'm inclined to agree. Since the LCL are unable to send a representative because this guy decided to commit a couple war crimes, their spot was given to the LEC's Mad Lions, who, no offense to Unicorns of Love and the rest of the LCL, are a considerably tougher opponent. But they still aren't perfect. For about a week and a half, Mad was memed for making worlds despite losing their first and only best of 5 against Fnatic. And while there are weak points in Mad Lions' game, it's still on the other team to take advantage of them. And there's no guarantee they'll be able to do that. For that reason, when it comes to Mad Lions' chances to make it out of groups, I say Hopium.
As they continue to chase forward, Unforgiven does have the flash, Yoya does not. Razork, though, has the frozen domain to get himself away. Hylissang low as well. Flash boomerang prediction!
One of the other heavy hitters in Group B are the reigning MSI champions, the LPL's Royal Never Give Up. Just like every other team in the top half of the LPL, they're not one you want to see on your schedule. Despite an early exit in the summer playoffs at the hands of EDG, RNG managed to place second in the regional qualifier to earn themselves a play-in spot. Mid laner Xiao Hu is still one of the best players on the planet, while top laner Breathe has been a breath of fresh air. Oh stop, you know you were thinking it. Add in Ming, Gala, and Wei, and this team is the closest thing you can get to a guaranteed lock. Hopium to the max.
Next on the chopping block, Gala invincible, and 2 and B will fall.
The final major region team in Group B is the LCK's DRX, who, after legendary AD carry Deft announced his intent to retire after this season, are attempting to send him off into the sunset with a world championship that has eluded him his entire career. And while I don't know if they'll make it that far, they certainly got a good shot at making it out of the group stage. After looking dead in the water in the middle part of the season, DRX surprised almost everyone when they defeated Live Sandbox in 5 games to claim the final world slot. And while their world-class bot lane gets a lot of attention, deservedly so, one of the biggest keys to DRX's late season success has been the rapid development of their mid laner Zeka, who is damn near unrecognizable from the player we saw at the early part of the season. And you can never count out the power of fighting for a legend's legacy. Hopium. Alright, now here's where things start to get sticky, because if one of the 3 aforementioned teams don't happen to make it out of the group, one of the following 3 has pulled off a massive upset. So we'll start with the team most likely to manage that, the PCS's Saigon Buffalo. Filling in for Gigamite Marines at MSI this year, Saigon Buffalo were the first VCS team to compete in an international event since the pandemic, immediately making headlines when their bot lane of Taki and Shogun first blooded the consensus best bot lane in the world, T1's Gumayushi and Keria. To use a baseball analogy, Saigon Buffalo are the equivalent of a power hitter. They're aggressive, confident, and always down to scrap. And while that might result in some pretty big whiffs, they're also capable of some towering home runs. For that reason, I'm gonna err on the side of positivity and say Hopium, but like right next to the line.
Là Kia Gia bị đấm và Kia Gia nằm xuống, Gam không còn cơ hội trong ván đấu thứ 4 này nữa rồi. Và trận chung kết nhánh thắng của chúng ta sẽ có ván đấu thứ 5 khi mà Buffalo toàn diệt Gam trong ván đấu này.
On to our penultimate team of the day, the TCL's Istanbul Wildcats. Nowadays, you can't talk about IW without mentioning their star ADC Holy Phoenix, to the point that they've become almost synonymous. But that's not always a good thing. It's because of that relationship that the chances the Wildcats make it out of play-ins is almost nil, because the strategy to defeat them is fairly simple in concept, if not always easy to execute. Relentlessly gank bottom lane. The first Turkish player to make rank 1 on the EU West server, Holy Phoenix is, for the most part, the sole world caliber player on iDubbbz's roster. Arguments can be made for Farfetch and maybe Saren, but that predictability often leads to their defeat, so I gotta say Copium.
Sallah'ın yardım etti. Onu hala düşüremediler. Ve bu belki de maçın son takım savaşı olacak. Toplamda 4 skor. Kurtarma paketi harika çalıştı. Ve Nakta Koyu'da yakalıyor burada Farfetch.
On to the final team in Group B, the LLA's Asurus. The only 3-time champs in LLA history, Asurus went 5 games versus Estral Esports, avenging their semifinals loss and punching their tickets to Worlds. Mid laner Seiya posted a staggering 7.25 KDA over the course of the closing playoffs, while their support jungle combination of Jelly and Grell are one of the most active in the LLA. Yet it appears the gods of fate have conspired against Latin America, because I just don't see this team getting past RNG, DRX, or Mad Lions. So I gotta say Copium on this one. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. Who are your favorites to make it out of play-ins? Let me know in the comments below. As always, remember to like and subscribe. Take it easy, be kind, and I'll see you next time.